Hey friends, if you've only used Jiffy Corn Muffin mix to make cornbread, you are missing out. This little blue box is one of my favorite pantry staples. And tonight, I'm turning it into 4 completely different casseroles that are perfect for cozy fall dinners. We've got everything from hearty and comforting to fun and unexpected. And every single one starts with this affordable little mix that you can keep right in your pantry. I'm Mel, welcome home. Let's get to mixing up some Jiffy casseroles. I'm beyond excited to try this new recipe. This is a chicken pot pie cornbread casserole. It's a mouthful and it sounds delicious. The first thing that I did was get my oven preheating to 400 degrees, grease my 9x13 casserole dish. I'm gonna set it right over here out of the way. And let's get started on our filling for this casserole. We're gonna need about 2 or 3 cups of cooked chicken. I'm using almost a pound of this rotisserie chicken that I get in the deli at Walmart. Also get this at Aldi. It's already pulled for you. And it's also just the chicken breast meat, which is what my family loves. Now you could cook you up some chicken in a crock pot. You could bake it. If you've got leftover chicken, any of that works fine. And feel free to use dark meat in here if your family likes that. Into our chicken, I'm gonna add in some frozen mixed vegetables. This is a 12-ounce bag. I'm gonna use almost all of it, about 10 ounces probably. I'm gonna put in about a half a cup of sour cream. Makes it really creamy and gives it a little bit of zing too. 1 can of cream of something soup. I'm using cream of chicken with herbs. I really like this one. But if you don't have a cream of chicken, you can use cream of mushroom, cream of potato, cream of celery, cream of anything would work here. I'm also putting in about a half a cup of milk, and I'm just gonna go ahead and begin to stir this up and get some of this combined while I've got all my milk here on top. Now I'm gonna stir in about 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and I'm gonna give just a dash of this salt, pepper, and garlic seasoning to mine. I had the rotisserie chicken, so I've got a good seasoning base. If you're just using a plain, not really seasoned up chicken breast, you definitely wanna throw you a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe some garlic and onion powder to that. Also, I use the cream of chicken with herbs, so I'm gonna have a lot of flavor going on in here. Now we're just gonna take our chicken mixture, put it over into that prepared 9x13 casserole dish. And honestly, this is pretty much just like my regular chicken pot pie filling that I make. I don't think I put milk in mine, but I also use canned veg oil. There's something about the canned veggies that I really like in my regular chicken pot pie. And I use Bisquick for my topping. So I love cornbread. So I'm excited to try this little casserole. Now for our topping, the star of our show is gonna be 1 little box of our favorite Jiffy Corn Muffin mix. Into that Jiffy, I'm putting a regular size. This is not the little half can. This is the 4.75 ounce can of cream style corn. This is almost giving me that corn casserole vibe. We're gonna add 1 egg. Stuff like my finger went through that one. And I've got 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Let's get it all mixed together. And if you didn't notice, I just used the very same bowl that I mixed my filling up in. We're conserving dishes to wash here today, and it's fine. It's all going to the same place anyway. Now spread that right over the top, the Jiffy and corn mixture. You could even put a little cheese on the top of this before you put it in the oven. I'm standing here thinking about Tex-Mexing this thing up. You could do it instead of mixed vegetables. You could use like a nacho cheese soup and use some black beans and corn and bell peppers and stuff like that in it, and then do like a jalapeno cornbread. You know I like a little Tex-Mex. And I'm gonna bake this uncovered 35 to 40 minutes, looking for your cornbread to get pretty and brown on top. Oh my gosh. She's beautiful. I'm just gonna let it sit here for about 5 minutes before I start cutting into it. I just put a little salad on the side of ours, but quite honestly, you have everything you need right here. Meat, veggies, bread, and the longer it sits, the better it gets. It begins to set up a little bit more. All right, I'm going in. Look at that steam. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh my lordy. Guys, this right here is delicious. I love all the cream style corn in it with the topping. I'm glad that I went ahead and put a little bit more of the salt, pepper, and garlic because this really has a lot of good flavor. Be sure if you make this, season it well, because to me, that's what is really coming through here is the herb soup that I used and all those seasonings. This is ultimate wintertime comfort food. I'm just gonna go in here and sit down and eat till my heart is content. Can't think of a better way to start a recipe than some footage of some beautiful bacon. I've just cooked this up in the oven, and we're gonna make a Jiffy cornbread breakfast pizza. I'm super excited about this recipe. And you can fry bacon. I'm only gonna need about 6 slices of bacon, but I like to bake it off in the oven. I just put it in the oven cold and I turn it up to 400 degrees. And then depending on the thickness of your bacon, this was actually done before the temperature even hit 400. For our crust, we're gonna combine 1 box of Jiffy muffin mix, just the regular little 8.5 ounce box. Gonna crack in 1 egg, and we're using 1/2 cup of sour cream. Now I'm just gonna get all this combined together, and if you have not cooked your bacon in the oven, you need to go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Once you get all that combined, we're just gonna set it over to the side and we're gonna let it set for about 3 or 4 minutes. The longer you let something like that set, the better and more that it will rise. And I'm using a 12-inch cast iron skillet, and we're gonna grease it really well. When making cornbread, I'm gonna use Crisco to grease mine. This is my Lodge Blacklock 12-inch skillet. Love this thing. The Blacklock is triple seasoned, and it's about 30% lighter than your typical cast iron. This 12-inch, I can just manhandle it. While we're letting our batter set for a little bit, I've got about 6 pieces of that bacon, and I'm just kind of gonna chop it up into bite-sized pieces. I've also got me 1 green onion here that I'm gonna dice up for the top of this little pizza too. See how our batter has done? It's just perfect. Gonna put it in the bottom of our skillet here. Of course, if you don't have a cast iron skillet, you could use any 12-inch baking dish you have, I'm sure. And I'm just gonna take my spatula and I'm kind of gonna spread this out all in the bottom of my skillet here. Don't wanna go too thin with it, but I do wanna spread it out just a little bit. Smooth out the top, try to make it level. We're gonna put this in our 400-degree preheated oven, and we're gonna bake this for about 15 minutes. She's smelling and looking pretty. We just need to let this sit here and cool for about 5 minutes. Now that this has cooled about 5 minutes, I'm gonna take about 1.5 cups of some shredded cheddar cheese and sprinkle it all across the top. Now I'm just gonna crack my eggs right on top of my casserole. It's not a casserole, it's a pizza, right? I'm just trying to kind of make a pretty little design with these. Last one in, and you know I had to have 1 yolk break right over here. Gotta have a little bit of salt and seasoning on here. Pepper. And all that bacon that we cooked and chopped up here. Gonna sprinkle that all across the top of here. Try to get everywhere. Ain't she just beautiful already? She's a pretty little thing. Gonna put it back in the 400-degree oven. We're gonna cook it about 15 to 20 more minutes here. We just want our egg whites to not be runny anymore. Is this not a beautiful presentation?
Looks pretty.
In that cast iron skillet?
Looks good. Smells good.
Yes, it does. Let's give it a try. Mmm. That's so good.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
That Jiffy mix gives it a little bit of a sweet taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious.
It sure is. It's like, I don't know what it's like. I did not.
It's good.
I did not expect that taste. Mmm.
You get what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
A little sweet taste.
I sure do. I'm gonna put just a little bit of maple syrup on mine.
Yeah, do that.
You want the syrup? I always like to try a breakfast something like this with just a little bit of syrup on it. Just put a little bit on the corner of mine to try.
You go good with that bacon.
Oh yeah. I think this is perfect. Of course, it's breakfast. This is a yummy dinner.
Oh, good.
The syrup, oh my gosh, the maple syrup just does something to it. It's so good. This would be so pretty for a brunch, like a bridal shower or something like this. Even camping, would this not be great?
Yeah.
On your cast iron, pull that out. You could really impress somebody with this.
I woke up this morning craving pancakes. This is even better.
All right. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to try this one. Got a pound of ground beef going here. We're going to make a bacon cheeseburger cornbread casserole tonight. And I got that meat pretty much done. I'm going to throw in some onion. Let's throw in a little garlic here too. How do you guys like the view up there? It's very hard in my kitchen. I don't have an island, but I love my kitchen. I know where everything's at. I love it here. But I don't have an island. And like, it's really hard for me to film because this is a wall. I can't get you this way. Like, I can't film me cooking and talking to you. So we'll just try some new things. Got my ground beef and my onions, sauteing up over here. Oven's 400 degrees. I just greased about an 8-inch square casserole dish. Now, over here, I'm gonna mix up a delicious box of Jiffy Corn Muffin mix. Who don't love Jiffy? And we're just gonna cook this up or mix this up according to the directions on the box, which is a 30 cup of water. Not water, I said water. I say stuff wrong all the time, but you guys do, you know, what you think is right. 30 cup of milk and 1 egg. We're just gonna get this mixed together really good, and then we're gonna set it to the side. Okay, that's all you get of that view. I can't concentrate like that. I'm gonna put in some of these real bacon pieces. I just didn't cook any bacon up today. I was lazy. But we're gonna use about a half a cup of these. I'm just gonna put the rest of it in. And I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of this Kinder's wood-fired garlic. Really, you're just looking for like a general kind of burger seasoning, which would be salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, maybe throw you in a little paprika or some brown sugar. And that's kind of what this wood-fired garlic tastes like. That's what's in it. Plus a little smoky flavor. It kind of gives you the essence of being grilled. I'm also going to stir in a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And I've got some good old Velveeta over here. This is like an 8-ounce block. I'm just going to use half of it, about 4 ounces. And I'm just going to kind of chunk it up into smaller pieces. That'll just help it melt a little bit easier in here. what is not to love about Velveeta? It's going to be a really good cheeseburger with that. Now we're just going to let this sit here and stir in our Velveeta just long enough till it gets melted down. Just kind of have it on about, a medium-low heat here. And you can see it just does not take long for that Velveeta to get melted and gooey down in there. Who even needs the casserole? Could just eat this with a spoon. Now we're going to take our meat mixture. We're just going to spread it in the bottom of that 8-inch square casserole dish that we greased. Now I'm just going to use about a half a cup of some shredded cheddar cheese. Put that right over the top of our meat mixture. And now we're going to take our Jiffy muffin mix that we prepared and spread it all over the top of this casserole. Very gently, I'm taking my spatula and spreading this out all over. Does not have to be perfect though, don't worry about that. Then we're going to put this in our 400-degree oven and we're going to bake this uncovered for about 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I'm just going to slide it right out. It's looking beautiful. And I just had a little bit more shredded cheddar cheese. So I'm just going to take little half a cup I had left, put it right over the top, slide this back in just 3 to 5 minutes. Let that cheese get all melted. I thought it would be fun to dress it up like a burger. We've got our lettuce here. We've got our onions inside. Let's give it a little pickle or two, little tomato, and I thought a little dollop of ranch dressing in place of our mayonnaise. And if you want mustard, you could put all that on top of there too. Isn't that cute? All right, what do you got? Ranch dressing and pickles?
Yeah, I'm pretty simple.
I got a lot of stuff on mine.
That is very good.
It makes me think of that cheeseburger in Paradise that I make with the Bisquick,
That does.
but we got a cornbread version.
I think I like this better.
I think I might like it better too. I took the first bite without any toppings on it, just to try things. Then we'll have some with some toppings.
That Jiffy cornbread gives it like a little sweet taste to it. That's good.
I was gonna have a salad on the side, but I just made my salad on the top.
There you go.
I think doing the toppings like a burger makes it really fun for summer. And it really was so easy and quick. It was definitely a lot easier and cooler than you having to stand outside.
Oh, yeah.
Real.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm full of charcoal with it.
That's right.
It's very good, Mom.
Good. I'm glad you like it. I think this might be in the rotation year-round now.
Oh, yeah.
I like it a lot.
The little crusty edges.
Oh, yeah, the crusty edges. The best. Now we're going to get started on our chicken cornbread casserole. I'm going to start with dicing up what needs to be prepped. And I need a small red onion. This one's humongous, so I may just end up using a quarter of this. Weird. I'm gonna need about a quarter cup of some chopped cilantro. I'm gonna need 1 lime juiced. I decided that I wanted to cut me a little avocado up to go on the top of mine. And I do need 1 jalapeno diced and seeded. And you guys know I am a total wimp when it comes to things that are hot. So I think I'm just going to use like this much of it. I want it to have a little bit of the flavor. Well, I want it to have a lot of the flavor and just a little bit of the heat. And this little guy's getting his own cutting board and a whole separate knife. And I'm gonna make it as small as I can because I don't want anybody to get a piece of, a big bite of that. I want it to be in really small pieces. Now that all of our chopping's done, let's preheat our oven to 375 degrees and get this casserole put together. And we're gonna use one little box of Jiffy cornmeal mix. If Jiffy is not your thing, you can use your regular cornbread recipe. I'm gonna use 1/3 cup of milk and 1 egg. Get all that combined, and I personally really love Jiffy mix. I don't like it all the time, but I love to use it in recipes like this. It's got a real sweet flavor, and it's just kind of a treat. Now we're gonna set this aside while we mix up our chicken mixture, and it will rise up even fluffier having some time to sit. We're gonna start with about 1.5 cups of cooked shredded chicken. This is some that I've made in the crock pot. And if you don't have yourself one of these handy little can strainers, you need to hit my Amazon storefront and get you one. They are such a handy little thing. I drain veggies with them all the time. And when you're draining tuna, it fits perfectly inside chicken or tuna in the can. Put it on like this and squish it down. I even run water over it and rinse black beans through this thing. Gonna put in a 10-ounce can of Rotel, diced tomatoes, and green chilies. And you do want to drain these. Gonna use 1 cup of cheddar cheese. I'm just using a mild cheddar. 1/2 cup of sour cream, and I'm just eyeballing this. I'm pretty well acquainted with sour cream. I think I know about what 1/2 cup is. Going to put in about 1/4 cup of that cilantro that I chopped up. A small red onion. That one I had was so big, I'm not even using 1/4 of that. Here's that jalapeno. I think I'm just going to use like half of it. We're going to use a pretty healthy tablespoon of ground cumin and the juice of that lime. Now let's just get all this mixed together and incorporated. And this is so colorful. The smells are already getting me hungry. I mean, look at that. What is not to love? When we get all of that mixed together, we're going to take our cornbread batter, pour it right in. And you guessed it, friends, get it all combined. I love how all of these Paula Deen recipes just use very simple, basic ingredients that most of us have on hand, like cornmeal, self-rising flour, canned tomatoes, chicken, stuff that most of us keep on hand, or you could just find it at any grocery store. Now, finally, I've got a pie plate. I think it calls for a 9-inch one. Just give it a little bit of spray and dump all this in here. And I have to be quite honest with you, I really don't know the size of my pie plate, but I believe it's gonna fit. Let's just make sure it's all smoothed out here on the top. And we're gonna put this in that oven for 30 minutes. And I looked back at this recipe and it actually said a 10-inch pie plate. So we might be in for some surprises. I cooked mine an extra 2 minutes because it looked a little bit soft in the middle and not done yet. I'm just gonna let it sit here for about 5 minutes and set up before I try to cut into it. Tonight, I just have to eat and run. I'm just going to have to leave this here for Patrick and Maddie to have. I've got places to go and people to see. Let's try to get her right here. Oh my goodness. This is like, look at that. Tomatoes, cilantro, onions, all the things, and the chicken. This makes me think of like a Tex-Mex stuffing, like a Tex-Mex chicken and stuffing, or just a delicious, moist Mexican cornbread. I love this. I did end up cooking mine total about 5 or 6 minutes longer because my pie plate was not 10 inches across. Needed a few more minutes for it to get all the way done. But guys, this is delicious. This is so flavorful. I hope you enjoyed these cozy Jiffy casseroles as much as I did making them. That little blue box really can do it all. And if you want some more, click right here for 7 of my very favorite Jiffy Corn Muffin mix recipes. This playlist also has some other recipes with pantry staples you probably have on hand too. I'll see you there, and as always, I send you love from my kitchen.